It's your girl Evie with Evie TV, and I'm coming to you guys today because I have some questions.
I will call them and you say why you will call me, or like why you continue to keep calling me, and I will say I haven't called you all day or in 2 days. Then I will go ask my kids like, hey, are y'all calling your dad because I haven't called him.
Okay. And until you looked in Naziyah's Instagram account, did you ever notice anything on your phone that caused you to be concerned
No,
between Naziyah and Mr. Butts?
no,
And Mr. Butts, we said would come to the house to see his kids.
correct.
He would drop them off at the house sometimes. He would take them places.
Yes,
He would pick Janiyah up from there.
like he will, depending on like if he will pick up the kids, if I need him to pick up the kids from the pickup or drop off spot for school, he will do that. Yeah,
And then take them either to Clinton Township when you lived there, or to the Bedford Street address?
correct.
Okay. But most times he wouldn't even come to the house, right?
He will come to the house. He will call me first before he will come.
Would he come into the house physically, or would he sit in his truck outside?
50%. He will sit in the car and wait till the kids come outside, or he will knock on the door.
Okay. Would he be in the house for any length of time?
Only if I'm inside the house.
Like if he was visiting with you?
Yes.
Okay. So you never knew a time that Mr. Butts would have been alone in the house with Naziyah?
No.
You can't think of a time when he had been in the house and had gone down to the basement with her?
No.
Or any other room in the house alone?
No.
Would Mr. Butts have ever been at that house if another adult, like you or your mother, weren't there?
He will. What you said?
Would Mr. Butts ever be at the house if you or your mother weren't there?
No. It will. It will be me or another person.
The idea that anything was going on between Mr. Butts and Naziyah is shocking to you, right?
Correct.
You had no idea.
No.
You never noticed anything between Naziyah and Mr. Butts that made you concerned?
No.
You never saw any inappropriate behavior?
Not at all.
You didn't notice Mr. Butts paying any special attention to her?
No.
Certainly if you had noticed that, that would have caused you concern.
Yeah, it would have raised a whole bunch of red flags.
Likely you wouldn't have invited him into the house, correct?
Correct.
You found it hard to believe even that Mr. Butts would hurt Naziyah.
But I won't know. I don't know what he will do if a person's back is up against the wall.
But the thought of that was hard for you, at least at one point, to believe,
Yeah.
correct?
Correct.
Now, during the time that you and Mr. Butts were together, he had children with other women,
Correct.
pretty consistently with other women,
Correct.
more than one woman.
Correct.
Some of those women you actually knew about, correct?
Correct.
They lived kind of even in the same neighborhood on the east side.
Correct.
But you suspect that there were women that you didn't know about?
Correct.
Even one that lived, or more than one that lived over on the west side?
Correct.
You believe he was going out there to see somebody around the end of 2023, January 2024?
Correct.
Before January the 9th, you had a conversation with Naziyah about a location on Outer Drive in Belfort,
Yes.
and that was surprising to you, right?
Correct.
That's on the east side of Detroit.
Yes.
Did you end up giving her directions on how to get to that location?
Yes.
Why did you give her directions?
I was just getting out the shower and just getting myself together. She asked me, she said, hey, Titi, she said, where is Belford and Honor Drive? And I told her, I said, you know exactly where Belford and Ida Drive at. I said, Ida Drive is right where the wine basket at. And I said, you know where Belford at. And she was like, I get Balfour and Bedford mixed up. So I said, you already know Belford is before Bedford. So she said, okay. She said, because we are in school and we are learning about our surroundings. So I said, okay. But that was the only two things that she had asked, was where was Ida Drive and Balfour at.
Does that location have any special significance to you?
No.
Do you know anybody at that location?
No, the only thing that I'm used to, I'm familiarized with just picking up Jarvis on Ida Drive and Balfour. It's just on a corner.
On a corner?
Mm-hmm.
Not at an address?
Not on the address.
Okay. When was this conversation that you had about that location? Do you recall?
This was right before Naziyah went missing.
Like how soon before? Weeks?
Maybe it was still like in that same week she went missing.
Mr. Butts didn't have his own vehicle, fair to say?
No, he didn't.
He generally used
His female's vehicles.
Did you know Mr. Butts to park at one location and maybe walk to another to kind of try to remain undetected?
Pretty much, yes.
So would it be not out of the ordinary for you to have to pick him up at a random, or what seemed to be a random location to you?
Correct.
You lived with Naziyah for, you said, from about October until January the 9th.
Correct.
So you spent a lot of time around her?
Yes.
You knew her mannerisms,
Yes.
her demeanor,
Yes.
her moods.
Yes.
Did anything strike you as out of the ordinary about how she was acting at any point in time in December or January before she disappeared?
No, Naziyah, nothing have changed her character, none of that. She was just the same old Naziyah. Nothing was different.
Naziyah has a brother, right?
Yes.
Is it an older brother?
Yes.
Now, he had run away in 2023, is that right?
Yes.
Objection relevance. How is it relevant?
If it's something that had bothered her or something that she was dealing with at the time, could cause a change in her demeanor.
Okay. Overruled.
So she did have a brother that ran away,
Correct.
and was that something that she struggled with?
She didn't like the fact that her brother was running away. Yes, she didn't like it.
Around the same time, around the time December, January, was her mother supposed to come visit, her biological mother?
Yes.
Did she end up coming to see Naziyah?
Yes.
She did. Did Naziyah seem to have some big emotions about that contact?
Yes.
It was complicated, fair to say?
Yes.
Did she talk to you about that?
All the time.
Did you notice anything? You said you didn't notice anything in a change in mood. So
No.
what about physically?
No.
I don't have anything else, thank you.